Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking one of the absolute most fascinating underdog stories in world football, South Africa's national team, Bafana Bafana, and their exact mathematical and tactical path to the 2026 World Cup. We're going to skip the usual hype and dive right into the cold, hard data and the specific blueprints that could actually define their entire tournament.
Okay, let's just dive right into it. To really grasp the gravity of this tournament for South Africa, you have to realize that an entire generation of fans hasn't seen Bafana Bafana actually qualify for a World Cup on merit since 2001 for that 2002 tournament. Sure, they played in 2010, but that was by virtue of hosting. So getting to North America in 2026, it's not just another appearance. This is setting the stage for a massive, multi-decade redemption story for a whole nation.
So, to see how they plan to pull off this massive upset, we're going to quickly look at a few things. A history of heartbreak, the pragmatic architect behind the team, South Africa's tactical blueprint, how they plan on surviving Group A, and finally, their exact path to the knockouts. First up, a history of heartbreak. Decades of falling just short. To truly understand what's at stake here, we've got to look back at that heavy emotional toll. You see, over the decades, a pretty painful pattern has emerged. After coming back from a 30-year sporting isolation, they made huge waves, and then made their World Cup debut in France in '98. But then came 2002. They played incredibly well but suffered absolute heartbreak, getting knocked out in the group stage by Paraguay purely based on goals scored. And then 2010. Sipiwe Tshabalala scores that iconic opening goal. They even beat France. But they became the first host nation ever to exit in the first round, again falling short on goal difference. It's like a curse. They earn points, they score goals, but they're always just one agonizing step away from the knockouts.
Which brings us to the pragmatic architect.
Introducing head coach Hugo Broos. Breaking that historical pattern requires a very specific type of leader.
Enter this 73-year-old veteran Belgian tactician. Broos is a guy who played in the '86 World Cup and famously led Cameroon to AFCON glory in 2017, totally against the odds. But what's really fascinating here is his brutal honesty. He literally told fans to forget about finishing in first or second place and that they should focus purely on third place. You almost never hear that kind of thing from international managers. He isn't selling a fairy tale, right? Instead, he's bringing ruthless pragmatism and channeling the team's energy into a highly calculated, mathematically achievable goal.
Next up, South Africa's tactical blueprint. We're looking at domestic cohesion and lightning-fast transitions.
The big question is, how does Broos actually achieve this on the pitch against much stronger opponents? Well, instead of relying on some exhausting high-pressing possession game, he's built a really rigid system. Step 1 is deploying a disciplined mid-block to conserve energy. Step 2 is all about launching incredibly fast counterattacks right down the flanks to catch teams completely off guard. And Step 3? Capitalizing on highly organized set pieces. Because in tight matches, perfectly executed dead ball situations are a massive equalizer for an underdog.
And this is where we see their unique superpower. When you compare South Africa's high domestic cohesion against their Group A opponents' elite European experience, it's night and day. Bafana Bafana lacks players in Europe's top 5 leagues, but 19 of their 26 guys play locally. By drawing heavily from dominant local clubs like Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates, Broos gets this ready-made elite chemistry. These guys don't need weeks in a training camp to figure out how to play together. It is already totally ingrained.
That cohesion is anchored by one important number, 63. That's the squad-high number of caps held by their captain and goalkeeper, Ronwen Williams. He is the absolute heartbeat of this team. He's got this legendary penalty-saving record, including saving 4 penalties in a single AFCON shootout back in 2023, which is just insane. He brings the exact kind of calm, veteran leadership needed to perfectly execute Broos's blueprint. Up front, they've got their main weapon, Lyle Foster. Playing for Burnley, he's the lone top 5 European League player in the squad. He provides that essential Premier League physicality, the hold-up play, and the goal-scoring instinct they desperately need. His ability to hold onto the ball under immense pressure is exactly what allows those fast counterattacks to actually work. And complementing that veteran presence is some seriously explosive youth. Specifically, 21-year-old breakout star Relebohile Mofokeng. Coming off a spectacular season with Orlando Pirates, he is arriving at the tournament with absolutely fearless momentum. For opposing defenders who honestly probably haven't seen much of him, his sheer directness and speed make him a massive surprise threat out of the wing. Moving into surviving Group A, the statistical uphill battle. To use those weapons effectively, they've got to navigate one of the most chaotic groups in the tournament.
When you look at the standings, the Gulf and Global rankings is incredibly stark. You've got co-hosts Mexico sitting at 15th, South Korea at 25th, the Czech Republic at 41st, and way down there is South Africa at 60th. Every other team in this group has reached at least the quarterfinals before, while South Africa has never escaped the group stage. The numbers just undeniably prove they are the massive statistical underdogs against established tournament regulars.
So how on earth do you survive against a possession-heavy team like Mexico, who's ranked 45 places above you and playing in front of a roaring home crowd? It all comes back to that mid-block strategy. Basically, it's a defensive setup where the team sits in a really compact, organized shape in the middle third of the pitch to deny space. If South Africa tries to press high, they'll just get picked apart and exhausted. Flawless execution of this mid-block is literally going to be the absolute difference between advancing and booking an early flight home.
Finally, we reach the path to the knockouts, the math behind the magic.
Despite their low ranking, a major structural change to the 2026 tournament genuinely shifts their destiny. Remember how Bruce is hyper-focused on third place? Well, here's the secret why. We've got a 48-team expanded format now. The top 2 teams advance automatically, sure, but the 8 best third-place teams also advance. Think back to those agonizing 2002 and 2010 exits where they earned 4 points but still went home. Under this new format, getting 4 points, just 1 win and 1 draw, could absolutely be enough to secure progression.
And the data actually backs this up. Predictive models give them a 37.9% probability to advance with a 62.1% probability of a group exit. That 37.9% makes them the highest probability Pot 4 team to reach the round of 32. It's the minority outcome for sure, but it is a highly realistic mathematical path that literally did not exist for them in any previous World Cup.
This entire tactical and mathematical game plan basically funnels down to one specific decisive battle. June 18th, against the Czech Republic in Atlanta. Look, Mexico is going to be incredibly tough, and South Korea is a huge challenge. But the Czech Republic is a bit more predictable and physical, which perfectly suits South Africa's counter-attacking speed and set-piece focus. Taking points in this game is totally achievable. It literally turns this middle fixture into their ultimate tournament-defining do-or-die clash. Which leaves us with this final thought to consider. Will June 18th be the day Bafana Bafana finally rewrites history and survives the group stage? Can a squad built on deep domestic chemistry, a penalty-saving captain, and ruthless pragmatism actually secure those precious 4 points? Well, the math says it's possible and the tactics are locked in. Now we just have to watch and see if they can finally shatter a 24-year curse on the world's biggest stage.